You know, I think this is so excellent. I think this is so great to watch that plane take off, bringing medical equipment and masks to help fight the coronavirus here in the United States. And it's even more surprising that it's Russia that's doing it. Russia is proven to be more of an ally to the United States than those that call themselves allies to the United States. And it's quite interesting that we're conditioned to believe that Russia has always been an enemy. Moscow, communist Russia. This is the propaganda that was fed to our minds from a very young age, that Russia was the enemy of the United States. Now, maybe in history past, there was some friction between the two countries or the two nations. But Vladimir Putin always appeared to be the kind of person that was willing to sit down and make friends, for the simplest term. Now, since this coronavirus had taken flight and become the main topic in the media here in the United States, all of those that call themselves allies, and even before this coronavirus issue, the so-called allies appeared to be more of an enemy than Russia. And now, at the most difficult time of the United States history, we find that Russia is now stepping up to the plate, contacted President Trump and said, listen, do you need medical supplies? And Trump said yes. And I watched the video of that Russian plane, that Russian military plane, taking off with what you see on the screen: military supplies, or better yet, medical equipment and masks. Now, that's what an ally is supposed to do. An ally is not supposed to kick you while you're down. And see, many times we look at the enemy outside of the United States, be it Russia, North Korea, China, or who have you. But the real enemy is working from within. Enemies behind line. And I've done a video on that topic in the past about the enemies. And as a matter of fact, it was about the terror cells, the sleeping terror cells. And that video was on my Fearless 2005 channel before I deleted it. But it was the sleeping terror cells. But who's to think that the sleeping terror cells were what we now call the deep state, or the Democrats, which I refer to as Democrats, or the Democrat demons. So those are the sleeping terror cells, because now they're now working to not only crash the economy, but destroy this nation because of Trump. Now, there's a video I'm working on comparing Trump to Jonah in the belly of the whale. When Jonah was on the ship, sleeping, he was hiding out, he was running from God. And on the ship, a storm appeared. And the crew that was on the ship was panicking because they were about to perish. And they found Jonah in the bottom of the ship. And they had asked him, like, what did you do? You need to call upon your God that he may save us, that we don't perish. But to make a long story short, they had to end up throwing Jonah overboard for the storm to stop. And I said on Facebook, man, that if you want this coronavirus pandemic, as they call it, to cease, Trump needs to resign. Now, I don't think he should resign, but we know that this all happened to destroy Trump and what was built in this nation. And the deep state is willing to sacrifice the lives of many. I watched a video in Brooklyn where they were loading bodies, dead bodies, on tractor trailers. Only God above knows where those bodies will end up. But that's how deep they're willing to go to destroy Trump, to gain power, or to complete whatever agenda that they set out to do. Now, I didn't mean to go this route. I'm going to read this article. I meant for this video to be quick. But you see the title. Russia sends plane full of medical gear to help U.S. fight coronavirus. This is excellent. It says boxes with medical equipment and masks to help fight coronavirus are seen aboard a Russian military transport plane ahead of its departure for the United States. A Russian military transport plane loaded with medical equipment took off early Wednesday from an airfield outside Moscow and headed for the United States, following a conversation between President Trump and his Russian counterpart, Vladimir Putin, according to a report. Putin offered supplies to help fight the coronavirus pandemic during a phone call with Trump on Monday, which focused on how to respond to the outbreak, Reuters reported. Trump gratefully accepted this humanitarian aid, Kremlin spokesman said Tuesday, Reuters reported, citing the Interfax news agency. The Russian embassy said on its Twitter account that Moscow sent the aid as Trump predicted the death toll in the United States could be between 100,000 and 240,000, and amid hopes that the Trump administration would return the favor if the outbreak becomes severe in Russia. Now, I recall Trump did a favor to Vladimir Putin. He kind of helped them out, and Vladimir Putin thanked Trump for helping them. So now the favor is now being returned. But they say that their hope that the Trump administration would return the favor. Now, I'm hoping that the United States don't turn to the demonic side, because during Trump administration, they had been always blaming everything on Russia. Everything was Russia. That's where that big Russia hoax came from. And now everything is pointed towards China. At one time, everything was pointed towards North Korea, but the United States never took responsibility for their own actions. The article said, importantly, when offering assistance to the American colleagues, President Putin is guided by the following consideration. When manufacturers of medical equipment gain momentum, they will be able to reciprocate if needed be, the tweet said. Trump on Monday said he had talked to Putin and suggested Russia will be sending aid. I have to say, we've had great relationships with a lot of countries, Trump said. China sent us some stuff, which was terrific. Russia sent us a very, very large plane load of things, medical equipment, which was very nice. Russia reported more than 2,000 cases of the virus, but many health experts have questioned the accuracy of the data. So allegedly, Russia had only 2,000 cases. So it must be short if they can actually spare this equipment. Now, I'm sure that there's people that's probably concerned whether or not this equipment is good, or if it's got a virus in it. I've heard some people say, but know that the United States, they're going to investigate this. They're going to know. They're going to know. They're going to investigate this. This is going to a military base, so it will be investigated, right? They will make sure that this equipment is intact before they receive it, right? But I think this is a great thing. This could be to a great start. Again, Russia and the United States, I think, in my own opinion, and I'm sure that there's people that's going to disagree, I think they would make great allies, man. They would. And Vladimir Putin has always been talking about trying to work with the United States. But of course, you have the deep state, the Democrat demons, that's always acting as enemies or adversaries to Russia. You know? So, feedback, tell me what you think. I didn't mean for this video to be this long. Subscribe. Until next time. It's tight, but it's right.